Hello, my name is Sky, and I have an idea on what to do with the Salton Sea in California. So all these ideas get passed around, and well, to clean up the sea is going to cost this many millions of dollars. To do this with the sea is going to cost this many millions of dollars. And the thing is, Imperial County is just way too poor to mount any sort of effort. The state of California is just way too distracted, and right now financially struggling to do anything about it. And can exactly ask Coachella or Riverside County to help out for their own reasons. So Bureau County is kind of left in the lurch and left suffering and struggling from the stinky body of uh, water that's just sitting there, probably adding to our problems. So here is an idea. So rather than footing the bill to clean the sea, why don't we say, all right, we can't make money off of tourism, so just make money off of farming. Um, and I'd say let's not go for fish farming because, well, other places are doing that, and also I don't think there's enough oxygen content in the water. Not to mention, since there's the other issues of what's going into that water. But what if instead you went for growing? And I was kind of a notion that it wouldn't be too hard to set up rock jetties along the shoreline, and you just create enclosed pools and grow any sort of kelp or seaweed or some other plants in the water, and let it use the or algae and stuff. Just let it use the photosynthesis, the warm environment, and just grow away. And you could even expand that to you have a couple different varieties of crops, so that you can have, like, say, a couple different rings formed along the coastlines of the Salton Sea. And so on the ring closest to the shoreline, and hopefully it'll be the cleanest water, you have some sort of food crop. Then you have another ring outside of, further away from the shore, and that has some other crop growing. And then maybe even another ring outside of that with a different sort of plant. And I was kind of curious, so what if you had sort of like a different plant growing in each of those rings, and as a result, like the first ring or two would more or less suck poisons and toxins and other bad stuff out of the water, and so that way when you get to the ring closest to the shoreline, that water is clean-ish, and you can grow like food crops there. Um, and then wouldn't it also be interesting if, like, so the different plants you're growing in the two other rings that are meant to clean and filter out the water, you could turn into a biofuel. So just different ideas like that. And what I think would work, or what works then, is that, okay, so now instead of empty land, it's now land that's, or basically shoreline and business, stuff's happening, and people are able to be employed. Um, some guy's able to put like a little bit of stuff into the water, and in a few months, weeks time, he's able to pull out a crop and get a profit out of that. Um, so you put a little bit of tax on that guy, put that money aside, and just let it grow and accumulate. Any sort of upgrades or anything that needs to be done and spent on the Salton Sea, you just tap into that fund, and hopefully eventually it would get up into maybe like $1 million or more dollar mark, and you can use that as the means to go for a more thorough cleanup of the Salton Sea or of the Alamo and New Rivers flowing into the Salton Sea. Because I think if anything, you have to go take care of the source. The other thing is that if you do start doing some sort of farming, you're not too sure like what's going to happen with the water, if it'll go up or go down because you're starting to mess with it, and you're starting to change the content of the water, the salinity and other properties. So it's kind of iffy and questionable, like what would happen if you did start growing. But to me, I think that's kind of just a safer bet. In a way, you're resetting, you're starting over with the sea, because has how much fish can grow in there with what you got there right now. If you start growing plants, it could potentially oxygenate the water, change the chemistry, and who knows whatever else. But yeah, I just think that's just a smart way to go, rather than letting it sit and letting it be a burden. start making it into a money producer of some sort. And that way, Imperial County and even Riverside County will start making money. And then down the road, that's when we can say, okay, our economy is better. We have the source of income. We have all these jobs. Now, how can we change things? How can we make things different? So that's one way to go about it.